Coach says all local high school students are being forced to use old-fashioned school buses for the trip because of a labor dispute. You could blame this mess on fallout from the school district's budget crunch, but that's not really the case. Individual schools raise their own money for these trips, plan the itinerary, and hire the buses. But this year, they're being forced to use the school district's own yellow school buses for a 3-day trip to San Francisco and back. It ain't right! Each spring, hundreds of kids take a 3-day field trip to visit 8 or 9 California colleges. Usually they take a coach like this one, but this year they're being told they'll have to make the 1,200-mile trip on regular school buses.
Imagine 8 hours from here to San Francisco, how uncomfortable it's going to be.
No bathrooms?
No bathrooms.
No air conditioning?
No.
We can get the coach. The school district just won't let us.
School officials admit that's true because they recently had to lay off union bus drivers when they cut regular bus routes.
As we reduce that number of bus drivers, we have to comply with some other parts of the contract. One of those is that we will no longer contract out bus service.
That means the kids get stuck on old-fashioned buses like this one, when they were originally told they'd be taking coaches like this. Now that's more like it. The coaches have bathrooms, air conditioning, and plenty of room for luggage. Parents like Jennifer Hernandez are upset. Her son is going on the trip.
One of the things we were told last night was that they needed to layer up clothing because of lack of space on the bus to bring additional items. I can't tell you how ridiculous I think all of this is.
And there's more. By law, regular school buses can't travel faster than 55 miles an hour, and they'll have to make frequent potty stops along the way.
It's going to reduce their time allowed at schools. It's actually, due to time restraints, it's going to cut one school off, their final school on the trip.
Swanky coaches like these also have something else parents say is essential on a long trip: seatbelts.
I don't think there's anything safer on the road than a school bus. I mean, we're very regulated. We're regulated by the CHP. It's a safe vehicle. I don't think you can get any better than that on the road.
Another thing that really bothers the kids here is that students from schools in more affluent areas will still get to use those charter coaches. That's because they use money from outside donors and grant money. But schools like San Diego High have to rely on school funds and small contributions from low-income parents. How does that happen? School officials say school buses are required when the trip is a school function, using school funds.
If the case is that neither of those are there, then the schools, through organizations supporting the schools, could go out and separately provide the coach bus.
Is that fair?
No, it's not fair at all. It's not fair at all that kids of a lower socioeconomic status are having to take a school bus as opposed to be able to take a coach bus because they can get the funding.
Better schools get to go and the less the schools don't.
Unless they ride a yellow bus.
Unless they ride a yellow bus, which is way uncomfortable.
What are these colleges going to think when you show up as a candidate in one of these yellow buses?
They're not going to take us seriously. They're going to think, oh, they're just here to put trash on our campus, and they're going to think we're just
ghetto.
Yeah, they're going to think we're ghetto.
How'd you like to spend 3 or 4 days in one of these buses?
Might be a little bit of a long trip, but it's certainly, I think, worth it when you consider where they're going, and we'll try our best to make it as convenient and comfortable as we can.
The school district insists their hands are tied because legally they have to honor that union contract. I'm Michael Turco, only on KUSI News.
Dozens of cherry trees